up, guys? It's Lexi Pike. Welcome to my channel. We are doing another reaction video to MSA. So I watched these two. Okay, and I watched this one. So my crush was spying on me. He saw everything. My kidnapper is now my boyfriend. I'll probably watch this one, and then I'll watch this one, and then I'll probably watch this one.
Hi, my name's Allison, and here's a true story about me. I was never what you might call one of the beautiful people, not like my best friend, Shona, who's everything I'm not. While I'm on the plump side, short, mousy, and wear glasses, Shona is tall, blonde, and beautiful. Still, we're good friends, and I try not to let the obvious differences come between us. Every Friday night, a group of us head down to the ice skating rink. To be honest, I'm not much of a skater, and I usually spend more time on the floor than skating. At least it gets me out of the house. Dad has a new girlfriend, Avril, and I don't think she likes me. She's much younger than my dad, and always criticizing how I look, which makes me feel worse than ever about myself. Shona is always first onto the ice. She's elegant and spins around like a ballerina. I don't mind. I enjoy people watching. I can see Sam Reeves on the ice. I've had a crush on him for years, but like everyone else, he doesn't seem to notice me. And besides, he has a girlfriend. You see, I'm not a very social person. I have this low self-esteem. I've had a few knockbacks from boys, and these days I'm always wary of opening up to anyone new. Anyway, on this particular night, I sat sipping a Diet Coke from a straw and watching the action when I see Tony Franklin.
What if you can create your own website by saying, "This is what I want"? With Wix, you can.
Now, Tony Franklin is an average-looking guy, but has a reputation with the girls. I've never really thought about him before. My crush on Sam is all-consuming. Hey, Allison, how's it going? He flashes me this great big smile, and I suddenly know why so many girls fall for him. He stares into my eyes as if I'm the only girl in the world. Tony starts talking to me, and after my initial shock, I start to loosen up a little. His charm is definitely getting to me. I feel honored that someone is interested in little old me. For once in a long time, I start to feel relaxed, and my defenses start to crumble a little. Later on, me and some of the guys are going to grab a burger. Do you want to come? His request comes out of the blue, and I pinch my hand to check if I'm dreaming. Nope, definitely not dreaming. A boy has just asked me out on a date. Well, sort of. I can feel my heart start to beat a little faster. Well, a lot faster, actually. He might not be Sam Reeves, but he makes me feel special. Perhaps your friend Shona would like to come too? His question is like a slap in the face. So that's it. I should have guessed. Tony's not interested in me at all. He's after Shona. It's silly, but suddenly I feel betrayed. So angry.
This is girl code. I was gonna say something, then I'll go into seizure. Okay, there's this code that girls used to use. I don't know if they still use them. But it's called the girl code. Me and my friends had them, and then we broke them. But she broke it first. And now we're not friends anymore. But the girl code is, if you have a crush on someone, you can't have a crush, your best friend can't have a crush on the same person. And rule number 2, if you break up with a boy, your best friend has to ask you if it's okay to date them. Yeah. I followed that rule. But my friend didn't. I did a guy named Dakota, and the next thing I know, after we broke up, she was with him, and I liked Jacob, my best friend that does YouTube too, and him and this girl just broke up, they were on and off and stuff, but that's okay. Because I'm on and off with Noah. So I developed feelings for Jacob. I still like him, but I know we can't be together because his mom won't allow him to be with me because apparently I'm a whole red flag. I have fucking seizures, but okay. So I'm with Noah. But I asked my friend if it's okay to date Jacob. This was in 2021, and she said yes. And then she started telling people I stole her boyfriend. Hey, you got together with Dakota? Without asking me. At least I asked to be with my best friend. Yeah. But that's okay. Me and Jacob are all close. And he'll always be my best friend. Well, I did think about that with his best friend, that me and his best friend would always be friends too. He's also my ex, of 1 month too. He stopped talking to me last year, so, and he said he would never block me, and he'll always be my friend, but then June, July, he blocked me on TikTok, so I texted him on Messenger. His name was Ethan. Hey, you blocked me on TikTok. Can you tell me why? And I sent him the screenshot. I didn't know if he blocked me on accident or on purpose. So after he read that, and I checked to see if he was typing, I went on his messenger, and it says person unavailable on messenger, meaning he blocked me. So yeah. She doesn't need to feel betrayed or anything, but I would probably be, I just stabbed my eye out! I went to rub my eye on my finger and I poked my eyeball. Yeah. If I was my best friend and I had a crush on a guy and he only had eyes from my best friend, I would be jealous. Not betrayed. I would be jealous.
Angry. I'd let my defenses down, allowed a moment of weakness, and had been used. He must think I'm stupid or something. Suddenly, I feel myself standing, which isn't easy when you're wearing ice skating boots, but I try to look as dignified as possible. I don't think I've ever felt as humiliated in my life, not even with my dad's new girlfriend. And in a fit of rage, I throw the Diet Coke straight into his face.
I wouldn't even do that.
That's what I think of you and your burger. Have a nice time with Shona. I stagger off toward the changing rooms with tears in my eyes. Shona is a good friend and comes to join me in the changing rooms. She asks what's wrong, but I feel so stupid that I don't tell her. It's not her fault that guys prefer her to me. I tell her that I don't feel well, and she walks me home. I see Tony Franklin watching us, and I want to stick 2 fingers up at him. His little plan to use me has backfired tonight. When I get home, I go straight to my room. Dad and Avril are out, as usual. He never went out as much with Mom. Dad's not been the same since Mom died 3 years ago. I think that's about the time I started to pile on the weight.
If someone hated ads, here's what they would do. Day 1, they'd install the free ad block extension from Capital One Shop.
I was so unhappy. Dad was in a mess, too. I wanted him to find someone else, but not someone like Avril. Whenever Avril and I argue, which is most of the time, Dad always takes her side. It's just not fair. I hardly sleep that night, and the sounds of Dad and Avril making out in the next room doesn't help much. Gross. I stay in my room all weekend, moping about. I don't want to go to college on Monday, and I try to keep out of Tony's way. I rush back home from college without waiting for Shona. I don't want to speak to anyone, just want to be safe and on my own again. As soon as I walk into the house, I can tell that something's changed. The living room seems tidier than usual. It takes me a moment to notice all Mom's pictures have been taken down.
That would have made me cry.
all her photos, and the ornaments she collected, all gone, as if she had never existed. Avril is sat reading a magazine on the sofa and looks up at me rather triumphantly. "You're home early, Allison." I feel the anger start to rise. "Where are Mom's photos?" She puts down the magazine rather carefully onto the sofa and folds her arms. "Your dad and I thought it would be better if we got rid of all the things from the past. A fresh start, you know?"
That would just make me fucking cry if that happened. I don't even know what's going on at Jolene's house now since she died. I don't know if Gary got rid of all things or anything. I haven't talked to them. I would only talk to Hannah here and there, but not much. She texted me because she thought I blocked her because I haven't talked to her in months. Like last month, and I said, no, if you were blocked, it would say person on Messenger is unavailable unless they updated it, because they've updated a lot of apps. I'd be pissed.
I look at her in disbelief. "How dare you remove my mother's things?" I spit the words out at her. Avril sighs and looks at me with her steely blue eyes. "Your dad and I thought it would be for the best. Dad would never agree to this." I shake my head in disbelief. At that moment, Dad comes out of the kitchen and immediately stands with Avril, placing his arms protectively around her. "What's going on?" he asks as if he doesn't know. "Dad, where are all of Mom's things?" "Now listen, Allie, don't get upset. We just thought it was for the best." "How dare you, Dad? How dare you forget about Mom like this? It's all her doing. Where are Mom's things?" I point to Avril, my arm shaking with rage. "They're in the kitchen," Dad starts. "Look, Allie, there's something I need to tell you. Avril and I are getting married." I don't want to hear any more, and I rush into the kitchen and find the boxes of Mom's stuff. "Oh, Mom," I cry over the boxes before taking them up to my room. I can't bear the thought of being in the same house as Dad and Avril, and as soon as I have my mom's things stored safely under my bed, I rush back outside. I don't have anywhere to go, but I start walking. "Hey," a voice calls after me about halfway down the street. I don't look around. I know that voice. It's Tony. I walk quickly, but soon I hear footsteps running behind to catch up to me. "Hey, stop a minute. What's the matter?" I don't want to talk to anyone, especially not Troy Franklin, but somehow he keeps up with me. And we walk to the park. I wish he'd leave me alone, but I'm too upset to talk. I make my way down to the lake to sit on a bench, and Tony sits next to me. "What are you doing here, Tony?" He shrugs. "You seemed upset. I was worried about you." I looked up into his eyes. He looked genuinely concerned, but all I can feel is anger and hate. This is the guy that humiliated me. His face is close to mine, and I want to reach out and slap him, but then I have another idea. I put my face up to his and kiss him. If he can use me, then I can use him. I can feel his surprise, but then I feel his arms around me, and his lips embrace mine. His lips are soft and warm, but it wasn't quite the reaction I was expecting. I wanted to shock Tony, and I quickly pull away and stand up. "Just leave me alone, Tony. I hate you." I can feel his eyes on me as I walk away. I managed to keep my distance from Tony for a whole week. Occasionally I see him at college, but I always turn in the opposite direction. The sight of him disturbs me, and somehow I can't forget that kiss. It's about 2 weeks later, on a Saturday night at the local disco, when I bump into him again. I have not spoken a word to my dad or Avril since the day they moved Mom's things, and it's really frosty back home. It's toward the end of the evening when I notice him. I've been sat at the bar with my Diet Coke watching Sam having a row with his girlfriend. I'm so intent on trying to listen to what they're saying over the music that I don't notice Tony lurching toward me. He's drunk. "Allie," he slurs, "I've been looking for you." I try and ignore him, but he won't go away and plunks himself on the chair next to me. "Will you join me?" He sways toward the bar. I cross my arms and scowl at him. "Don't you think you've had enough? What would your dad say?" Tony's dad is a police officer, and Tony would be in for it if he was caught. To my surprise, he slams his fist down on the bar. "My dad can go to hell. I hate him." His words strike home to me, and for a moment, I feel almost empathy for this boy I've grown to hate. Why? What's wrong? I asked.
When we found out we were pregnant, of course we were looking for any ways to slash bills, and Spectrum just had better deals.
That money we saved with Spectrum? I ask, genuinely concerned. Tony puts his head in his hands. You wouldn't understand. Try me? I challenge back. Then it all comes out. He starts telling me how his mom and dad are always arguing and how he hates to go home. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be telling you all this. I gotta go. He stands, and against my better nature, I grab hold of his arm, feeling a sudden rush of sympathy for the guy. Hey, there's no need to... Tony turns toward me, a strange look in his eye. Ellie, Before he can finish his sentence, he lurches forward and grabs me in a passionate and drunken embrace. His lips find mine and crush against me. I'm full of mixed emotions. The guy I hate most in the world is kissing me, and he's drunk, but I feel a slight tingle of pleasure. What on earth is going on? I struggle to get away, but he holds me tight in his arms. Tony! Tony! I beat at his back as he staggers about with me in his arms until he finally topples over and crashes to the floor, taking me with him. Hey, are you okay? A hand reaches over to pull me upright. I look up, and it's Sam Reeves. Is this guy bothering you? He asks. We both look down at Tony, lying spread eagle on the floor.
Tony was not okay, but it's funny how he's just laying on the floor, like, passed out. I've never gotten drunk, so I don't know what it's like. Okay.
He's a sorry sight, a right mess. Come on, I'll walk you home. Sam takes my arm and leads me out of the bar. I can hardly believe it. Sam Reeves is walking me home. It's a beautiful, starlit night, and as we walk, Sam tells me that he's split with Anna, his long-term girlfriend. Apparently, they've been rowing too much. I listen in silence as he unburdens himself. It's been one of those nights. As we approach my house, Sam stops and gazes at me. You know, Allie, he says, you're one of those girls that I can really talk to. Not like Anna, she never really listened. And then, he kisses me. I've laid in bed 100 times imagining Sam kissing me, and as his lips touch mine, I wait for the explosion in my heart, the fireworks in the sky.
So now you have two crushes. Okay. This is gonna go great. It's just my crush was spying on me. He saw everything. I don't recall seeing any spying.
But it doesn't happen. His lips are soft and warm, but I don't get the thrill I imagined. The strange thing is, all I can think about is that kiss with Tony. Damn him. I hate him. He's even ruined this moment for me. Sam says goodnight, and we make a date for the following week. There's going to be a big end-of-term party on Friday night, and Sam asks me to be his partner. I can hardly believe it. All week I spend getting ready. It's the event of the college year, and I want to look my best for Sam. Shona helps. She's so pleased for me, and lends me a dress to wear. I have my hair and nails done, and by the time Friday comes, I can hardly wait. As I look at myself in the mirror, I can't help smiling to myself. The ugly seems to be turning into a swan after all. Coming down the stairs, Dad sees me and stops, his eyes misting over. We've hardly spoken over the last few weeks. Hey, Allie, you look gorgeous, just like your mom. He comes and hugs me, and it seems like the first father and daughter moment we've had since Mom died. Maybe we can work something out after all.
Picked a great name, but your voice doesn't quite match it? Voice Mod gives you over 150 lag-free...
Sam picks me up in his car, and I'm so proud. He even bought me a corsage and pins it proudly on my dress. The first person I see when we enter the sports hall is Tony. He looks smart, almost handsome, and something shifts in my heart. I guess that I'm just feeling sorry for him. He smiles, but because I'm with Sam, He doesn't come over. I notice there's no significant other on his arm, which is unlike Tony. It's a great night. We laugh and dance, but something's not right, and I find that at moments I'm looking around the room trying to see where Tony is. It's ridiculous, and I try and pull myself back to the moment. I'm with Sam Reeves, my dream date, but it's not enough. Towards the end of the night, I notice that Sam is distracted too. It's almost time for the last dance, and he seems agitated. Allie, are you alright? Are you having a good time? He asks me. I smile. Of course, Sam, I'm having a great time. Is that why you keep looking out for Tony? He states. I shake my head, start to deny it, but what's the use? Sam has hit the nail on the head. Only one person has been on my mind all night. Tony Franklin. I'm sorry, Sam. You've been so kind. He just smiles. Well, I've got a confession. I realize that I still love Anna, and I must go and find her. Will you mind? I shake my head, almost relieved when Sam walks away. I'm alone again, just like before. I glance around the room, but Tony is still nowhere in sight. He's probably kissed half the female population already. I don't want to be here for the last dance, and I head for the cloakroom when a hand grabs my arm. Hey, where are you going? I turn around to see Tony. I just bumped into Sam, he says. You said you were looking for me? Without another word, he leads me onto the dance floor as the slow and smoochy love song starts up. My heart is beating fast and my whole body tingles. So this is what love feels like when it finally comes. Tony reaches forward and kisses me. A slow, lingering kiss. And this time, I know it's for real. What do you think of my story? Has love come to you in an unexpected form? Feel free to share your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Okay, my kidnapper is now my boyfriend. That sounds interesting.
I was going to school when suddenly I felt someone pushing me to the ground. Ouch! I screamed. I fell on my side, but before I got the chance to get up, I felt someone handcuff me. At first, I got excited and thought it was my crush from school acting all playful with me. I mean, I've been sending him signals the past few weeks. But then I heard a car coming, and someone screaming, "Get the door open, hurry!" What? As soon as I realized that someone was attacking me, I started screaming for help, but no one was around.
Of course.
I struggled to free myself, but my kidnapper was so strong, he wouldn't let me go. Then he dragged me into a minivan and closed the door behind. I was...
That looks so wrong with the van going side to side. Wow.
claustrophobic, so it was not long until I passed out. I woke up later having the worst headache of my life. I was laying on a bed in a small, old, dusty room. I was confused for a bit, but then I remembered what had happened. Who the hell brought me here? I headed to the door and started knocking it hard. I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Get me out of here! Hello? Someone! Get me out of here!" Someone responded, "Hey you, we're coming in a second." I stopped yelling. I put my head on the door trying to eavesdrop, and I heard someone saying, "She's not the one, you idiot! I told you, she's blonde. This one has brown hair." Wait, are they talking about me? I heard their footsteps coming toward me, so I took 2 steps back. The door opened and a young man walked in. He was handsome, so hot. I'm talking Noah Centineo hot. He looked at me and said, "Listen, sorry. This was a game. We're aiming to fake kidnap another girl, for fun, but my friend picked you by mistake." What? I yelled at him, "Are you freaking kidding me? You almost gave me a heart attack, and you say this was a game? I'm going to call the police." The guy got scared, and he started sweating. I looked at him, shaking, not knowing what to do. He said, "I'm sorry, I promise, it was just a game. We didn't mean to hurt you at all. We had planned this to trick a friend. Please, we're just 2 stupid high school boys." Seeing him so confused and stressed made me feel for him. So I said sarcastically, "You losers, I thought you were a badass gang that kidnapped me to blackmail my father. Move, I need to go out." I took my bag and headed to the door. The guy had a stupid smile on his face and said, "Wow, that easy?" I didn't respond. I just got out, ordered a taxi, and went back to school like nothing had happened. They just ruined my morning, that's all. I thought that I would never see that guy again, but to my surprise, a week later I found him working in a fast food restaurant that opened recently in the area. He was the cashier. When he saw me, he said,
SFC, Special Fried Chicken. So that is like a whip-off of KFC. I love their mac and cheese. That's what I would always get at KFC.
"Here comes the strongest girl I know." I smiled and said, "And here is the wimpiest boy I know." He laughed and handed me the change with a piece of paper that had his number. It said, "I would love to take you out. Here is my number if you are interested. Nolan." Smiley face. At first, I didn't want to call him. But then I kept thinking about how cute he was and that we would make a great couple. I've never had a boyfriend before, and I really wanted to experience what it's like to date. So at night, I sent him a message. "Meet me for coffee tomorrow around 5 o'clock at Jojo's, Amy." He instantly replied, "Sure, Wonder Woman," winky face. So we met. Nolan was so charming. It was like he read the magical book of how to be the perfect boyfriend and did everything accordingly. He had a red flower with him. He gave it to me and said, "You two are both alike. Soft, attractive, and breathtakingly beautiful."
Build a website you love with Wix. For your words, create your brand.
It melted my heart, and it wasn't long until we started dating. I fell in love with him, and soon I invited him to my house. Nolan was stunned by what he saw. He didn't know that my dad was that rich. My house was more like a mansion, and I had everything a girl my age could dream of. And Nolan felt so insecure about it. I noticed how he looked at things around with utter shock, like he never imagined being in such a place. "Is there something wrong?" I asked. He muttered, No, it's just that you're really rich." "It's just my dad, not me," I said, hoping that it'd make him feel more comfortable. Unfortunately, it didn't. After a few visits to my house, Nolan became more and more annoyed by the fact that I had everything. He was subconsciously thinking about it all the time. Every time he bought me a shake, he said, "You've probably had better." Or if he bought me a gift, he said, "Sorry, that was the only thing I could afford." His comments pissed me off. So one time, after he said one of his stupid comments, I confronted him. I said, "You know that those comments make you look so insecure. I like you for who you are." Nolan didn't believe me. He sarcastically responded, "So basically, I'm your side puppet." That infuriated me.
Yeah, that would have pissed me off too.
It was like he wasn't listening to what I was saying. I asked, "What do you mean?" He responded, "I'm just another item to brag about. Look at me, I have someone who's totally in love with me." His comment disgusted me, so I screamed, "Well, if that's how you think, then maybe we shouldn't date at all." He simply said, "Fine," and then walked away. I couldn't believe my eyes. He just turned around and left. I thought we had the best relationship ever, but apparently I was wrong. Nolan just disappeared. He didn't try to contact me whatsoever. It broke my heart, but if that's what he wanted, so be it. But then, 2 weeks later, I found him having dinner with Tamar. Tamar was one of my friends from middle school. She was the Kim Kardashian of our group, the richest and the most spoiled of us all. But I stopped seeing her because she was too full of herself. She always accused me of being jealous of her. If we happened to buy the same dress, she would tell everyone that she bought it first and that I had no sense of fashion whatsoever, and that's why I was copying her. But that was not true. I knew that Tamar's father was wealthy, richer than my dad, but I was happy with what I had. So I simply stayed away from her because I hated having too much drama in my life. But that made me wonder, how did Nolan end up with her? Wasn't he so insecure about dating rich girls? That bothered me a lot. To the point, I decided to ask Tamar about it. I DM'd her over Instagram saying, "Hey, I saw you the other day with Nolan. How did you two get together?" She responded, "Why? Are you jealous? He's the cutest, isn't he?" Her response made me cringe, but I asked anyway. "No, not at all. I think you are a cute couple. He was just my friend, and I wanted to know how you met." And to my surprise, she said, "It's kind of a funny story. Nolan kidnapped her by mistake while he was playing a game with his friends, and they hit it off just after that. That jerk. Was that..."
Oh my god. Her kidnapper's a player.
his trick to pick up girls? Thank God we're no longer together. I was stupid to feel sad after breaking up with him. She can date him as much as she wants to. The next day, Dad called me to his office. He looked worried and disturbed. He asked me anxiously, "Honey, did you see my Rolex watch? I thought I left it here." I answered, "No, Dad, why?" And he responded, "It's been missing for a while and I can't find it." Then he added, "Never mind, I probably lost it somewhere." I went back to my room feeling sad about it. That watch was my dad's favorite because Mom had bought it for him before she passed away. He never took it off. Where did it go? I started looking for it everywhere when I suddenly had a weird feeling about it. When Nolan visited me, he used to go 3 or 4 times to the bathroom. When I asked him about it, he said, "I've got a condition." I didn't want to embarrass him, so I just waited for him. Is it possible that he took it? No. He's a playful guy, but he's not a thief. I tried to brush it off my mind, but I couldn't. It was bugging me, and I needed to make sure it wasn't him. So I spoke to Tamar again and asked her about Nolan, and if she noticed something strange about him. Tamar was irritated. She said that everything was quite fine, and she would appreciate it if I stopped bothering her. I was embarrassed, but I plucked up my courage and said, "Hey, Tamar, I promise this is my last question. Did you lose something expensive lately?" I thought she would hang up, but she kept quiet for a while and then said, "Come to think of it, I lost one of my diamond rings lately, but I may have forgotten it somewhere." That sneaky man. I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I explained everything to Tamar, how Nolan used the same trick with me and how I suspect that he stole my dad's watch. She was furious that Nolan manipulated her that way. Introducing Grammarly, like you've never seen before.
Shut up.
Your all-in-one writing essential. This is great. I thought she was more pissed because I dated him first, but anyway, we both decided to get revenge. One night, Tamar invited Nolan for dinner at a fancy restaurant, and while they were having dinner, she excused herself to go to the bathroom. But before she went, she took off her expensive golden bracelet and put it inside her bag. I was sitting at a table next to them, ready with my camera. But to our disappointment, Nolan didn't go for it. We thought he would be tempted to steal it because it was worth thousands of dollars, but he didn't do anything. The date ended and nothing happened. Tamara went back to her house with Nolan. I followed them and I sat in my car waiting outside for...
And now the ex-girlfriend's the stalker. So are you sure Nolan actually stole from you guys? It could have been someone else.
For Nolan to get out of the house. I wanted to speak to Tamar to figure out our next step. I got bored, so I started scrolling through my Instagram, and then I got a notification from Tamar's account. She went live. What happened? I clicked on the video, and oh my God,
Yep.
Tamar was shooting a video of Nolan. She was upstairs, and he was downstairs. I watched him as he stole a wooden antique and hid it in his jacket. The comments started popping up. People were shaming Nolan. But the weird part was that many girls recognized him. Some of them said that Nolan was their boyfriend.
Oh.
They too lost a few things when they were dating him. He was a pro. I called the police while the video was still on, and they arrived 10 minutes later. Nolan was arrested, and he returned all the things he'd stolen from people and spent 3 years in jail, along with his friends who helped him with the fake kidnapping. After the whole thing ended, I went to speak to
3 years. It should have been like more than that.
Tamar. I wanted to thank her for what she did. My father got his watch back, and he couldn't be happier. I thought we could be friends again, but when I called her, she said in a nasty tone, You don't have to thank me. You're still a loser. Just don't get into trouble again, you stupid girl. Gosh, she'll never change. What do you think of my story? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
Okay, now one more.
File free in the app if you didn't file with us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do-It-Yourself by
Ow. My girlfriend got sick after I kissed her. That sounds interesting.
Ever since 8th grade, my best friend Leah and I promised that we would take each other to our senior prom. We'd even sworn it in blood. So this was a legit pact that we wouldn't let either of us break. At the time of our story, it was January, the beginning of the new year and the new semester at school. Leah and I were headed to the lunchroom when she felt horrible pain in her knee. This pain was so bad that she lost her balance and fell to the ground. I grabbed her by her arm and pulled her up. She was shaking and her face was white. "Leah, are you okay?" I asked. I wanted to try to get her to the lunchroom quickly, thinking that maybe she was just hungry and needed to sit down. She sat with her hands in her knees for a few minutes before finally answering me. "Simon, I think something's really wrong with me. My knee has been hurting ever since I got kicked 2 weeks ago at the soccer game." She started to limp to the office, which was opposite of the lunchroom. I tried to stop her. "Let's just get some food." "No, I need the nurse," she said as she hobbled to the office. I helped her along the way, but as soon as she got there, she told me to go to lunch. Leah didn't make it to lunch that day. In fact, her mom picked her up early to take her to the hospital. I kept texting her all day long, hoping she would answer me and let me know that she was okay. It wasn't until around 8:30 that night that she finally texted back. She sent me a picture of an MRI, which is an x-ray of your body, and hers was of her knee, her lungs, and her neck.
I had something like that. It was a CAT scan when I had that infection. But the infection is gone and my face doesn't hurt now.
All of them were covered in spots. I didn't know what that meant, so I sent her a question mark. Almost instantly, my phone lit up. Leah was FaceTiming me. I pushed accept and saw her face for the first time since lunch. It wasn't as pale, but she looked tired. "Hey, what's going on? Did you go to the doctor? Are you sick?" I asked. Her eyes looked red and her hair was a mess. Leah could barely get the words out as she stared off the screen. I could see tears running down her cheeks. "I have cancer," she stated, before bursting into tears. All of those pictures were of my body. I have tumors in several spots. They told me I may not make it to graduation. She set the phone down and all I could hear were her high-pitched wails and her mom in the background trying to calm her. Instead of listening to my best friend sob, I decided to drive over to her house even though it was late and I was going to miss curfew. I had to see her, to hug her, in case I didn't get the chance again. When I got to her front door, I didn't even knock. I just barged right in and ran to her room. Her mom was there hugging her, and I scooped in next to them. We all cried for a bit, and then when things calmed down, Leah turned to me. "I have to start chemo next week." I nodded. I didn't know what to say. I grabbed her hand so she would know I'll always be there for her. A couple months passed, and although Leah was doing good, she wasn't out of the woods. The tumors were shrinking. Some of the chemo was working, but she was still struggling to live her day-to-day life. There were only a couple more days left until prom, and I was excited to finally pick out a corsage to put around her wrist. She was doing so good that the doctor told her she could go to the dance, but she had to sit down for most of it. She was allowed to slow dance, but no crazy dancing. She was okay with that. And so was I. My other best friend Malik and I were out tuck shopping. Leah's dress was going to be maroon and she wanted me to match. So I was going to every Tux rental store I could find to try and match the perfect shade of her dress. It was harder than you might think. While we were at the 57th shop, my phone started to ring. It It was Leah's mom. I answered, my voice already shaking. Hi, Simon. Leah's back in the hospital. She wants you to come up here when you can. I didn't even hesitate. I said goodbye and started to walk out of the store. Malik stopped me and told me to at least rent my tux. I told him Leah was in the hospital and probably wasn't going to make it to prom. That's when he got a big grin on his face and grabbed the first tux he saw. We're getting this, he said, pulling me over to the register. It's not even the right color, I said. It doesn't matter. If Leah can't come to prom, we'll take prom to her. That sounded like a genius idea. Malik and I visited Leah in the hospital that night. She wasn't doing well. Her eyes were sunken with dark black circles around them, and her thinning hair was messy and damp. I asked her mom to please make sure Leah feels beautiful tomorrow when we come back, and she asked why. That's when I pulled her into the hallway and told her we were going to plan the biggest prom party for Leah we could imagine. Her mother grinned. I hadn't seen her smile like that in months. She gave me the biggest hug and kissed me on my cheek. You are a beautiful person, Simon. We love you. I love you too, I said as I walked away. Now,
My name is Julie, and I live in Sheepshead Bay. Last year in 6th grade,
it was time to plan the prom that would hopefully bring Leah the dream she deserved. That night, I went on Facebook and invited all of Leah's best friends to come to the dance we were having. I went to Target and got some fairy lights, a bunch of streamers, and finally to the florist to purchase a beautiful corsage for the most beautiful girl in the world. We advised everyone to get dressed up in their prom attire for the next evening, as we were going to have a shindig whether Leah could go to prom or not. She deserved to be treated like a queen. Although some people declined our invitation as they didn't want to miss their own prom, many of our closest friends said they would come and even planned to bring food, drinks, and other things to make Leah feel like one in a million, which she was. Malik came over the next afternoon and we loaded up his truck with all of the things that we got over the last day and a half, including a Bluetooth speaker and a fog machine that Malik found in his sister's room. We got dressed in our tuxes and made sure that everyone that said they were coming would be there. Even Malik's girlfriend decided to come along. She got Leah's dress from her house and was going to do her hair and makeup before the dance. I couldn't wait to see the surprised look on Leah's face when we showed up. All night, she was texting me about how sad she was that she was going to miss prom, and she kept begging me to go without her. I told her that wasn't happening, and to just be happy, and I'd see her tomorrow. She didn't know we'd have all this for her, and I couldn't wait to show her. The drive to the hospital was filled with anticipation. Leah's mom met us at the front door to take all the decorations. Leah had been sent to another room to do some tests, so we had time to set up before she got back. In just under half an hour, the hospital room sparkled with fairy lights and had gorgeous blue and green streamers running along the bed and window. Malik set up the fog machine, which the doctor said wasn't a good idea, so we had to leave it off. The music was playing softly, and we moved some of the furniture and medical equipment out of the way so we could have a dance floor. Leah arrived, and although she looked pale, her eyes lit up at the sight of what was ahead of her. At the same moment, she started to cry. You guys, I'm not dressed for prom, she giggled and came over to hug me. That's okay. We got everything that you need right here. Take your time. Ashley is going to help you with your makeup and your dress. We'll be waiting out here as long as you need. It seemed like forever, but it was probably only 20 minutes later. Leah emerged from the hospital bathroom with her hair in a braid that wrapped around the top of her head, and her beautiful maroon dress that clung to her in all the right places. It was sparkly and made her eyes glow. This was the exact moment I realized that I was in love with Leah. It seemed like everything had stopped when she walked out of the bathroom. I was so happy to see her so happy. I went over to her and gave her a huge hug. I pulled her hand up to mine and said, I'm the luckiest guy in the world to have you as my prom date. Then I slid the corsage on her wrist. Malik got the party started, and we all began to dance, have snacks, and crack jokes about how lame the other prom probably was. After an hour, I could tell that Leah was struggling to keep up. "Hey, you can sit down if you need to." She grabbed onto my arms as I helped her sit in the chair. She was looking pale again. "Are you okay?" I asked. She waved me off. "Yeah, I'm fine, just all the medicine and tests today. I'm tired. But I'm having a great time, and I am so happy and so thankful that you did this, Simon. I really appreciate it. I love you." I know she was saying I love you as a friend, but it made my stomach fill with butterflies. "I love you too, Leah," I said. There must have been a look in my eye that told her I didn't mean as a friend, and that's when she leaned over to kiss me. I had never kissed a girl before. Don't judge me. I know I'm a senior, but it was never something that I thought about. Kissing Leah felt like home. I just didn't want to break her. I knew she shouldn't be kissing me right now. I don't think she cared. We pulled back, and I smiled at her. She rested her head on my chest, and we watched as the other couples danced and threw popcorn at each other from across the room. Thinking back on that night, I am so happy that I was able to give Leah her wish of being my prom date. After everyone left, her and I cuddled on her bed some more. We kissed, and I told her that I loved her again. She pulled me close.
Did she die then?
And set it back, staring into my eyes. Then we both laid down. Leah was getting ready to go to bed, and I was getting ready to head home. Her mom walked in and told me to get out before I got yelled at by the night nurses. We hugged, and I left feeling triumphant, ready to take on the world. At 7 the next morning, I received a phone call from Leah's mom. She had passed away in the night, sometime soon after I left the hospital.
All did.
When she told me, I was speechless. I had plans to go to the hospital today and bring Leah some books she'd wanted to read. There was a big stack of new bestsellers sitting on my desk. I wasn't much of a reader, so the books broke my heart. I started to weep. I haven't cried that hard since I was a little boy, but it felt good to let my emotions out. I was practically wailing when my own mother barged in my room to see me lying in the fetal position on the floor. "What's going on, Simon?" she said, terrified. I could barely say the words. Leah died. My mom knelt beside me and hugged me for what seemed like hours as I cried. Leah was my best friend, my second half, my one true love. I know it sounds corny, but she was. I just realized over the weekend that I loved this girl more than anything in the entire world. She was always there for me, she never gave up on me, and she was always passionate about what I wanted in life as much as she was about her own desires. I will forever be thankful that I was able to spend Leah's last night with her and with our friends having a blast. I'll never forget the smile on her face and the love in her eyes that night. Although I have to go through the rest of my life without my other half, I'll be okay. Leah's family will always be a part of my life, and I'm hoping they'll continue to want me in theirs. I do make some pretty incredible hamburgers after all. Leah was caring, gentle, and willing to try anything. So, today, I'd like you to try and be a little more like Leah. Thank you all for coming. The entire time I was speaking at Leah's funeral, I couldn't stop staring at the photo they used for her memorial, her senior picture. She had all of her beautiful blonde hair cascading down her back, her huge blue eyes shining in the autumn sun. This was one of her favorite pictures, so I was thankful they shared that with everyone. After I finished my piece, her parents came to hug me. We all cried together, and they thanked me for loving their daughter. That happened over a year ago now, and I'm still recovering from the death of my best friend. Leah's parents are good. We get together every weekend for board games and burgers. I'm hoping as the years go on, we can continue to have this strong bond, and that whoever I end up with will be half the woman Leah was. I'm sure she'll help me out from where she's looking down on us. Thank you for listening to my story. What was something crazy you did for a friend? Please like and subscribe.
Well, that was depressing. But that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!